Did we really fear the deer, or was this a season of luck and misfortune? Let's go. The 2021 NBA Finals may have been a disappointment for some, but a breath of fresh air for others. Me? I'm in the middle. I thought it was crazy how the majority of NBA superstars were injured this season. But with all that being said, the two best teams that not only remained healthy, but most competitive in the end, were the Milwaukee Bucks and Phoenix Suns. So many interesting storylines between the battle of these two teams. You have Giannis Antetokounmpo. Lord, that last name is now legendary. At first when we heard about it, we were like, what the fuck? How do you pronounce that? But now that will no longer be the case because
you don't know, now you know.
Just don't ask me how to spell it.
Oh my God!
With a name like Antetokounmpo, you're probably wondering where he's from. Well, he was born in Athens, Greece, and he is the son of immigrants from Nigeria. You can't forget his awesome nickname, the Greek Freak, but he's definitely come a long way and officially in his prime. On the other hand, you have, in my opinion, the last true point guard in the game, and the brother of famous State Farm agent Chris Paul, who is at the tail end of his career and in a desperate hope to not only make it to the finals, but win a championship. Both are legends and future Hall of Famers. But before we talk more about their accolades and their final series, I thought it'd be fun to go through the history of these two franchises, since that's an interesting story in itself. So Milwaukee. Where the heck is Milwaukee on the map? You tell me. What state is that even in? Wisconsin. Gotcha. Got respect. Okay, respect.
Bruh.
The franchise won 2 titles. And spoiler alert, they did win this past year in 2021. But their last and only championship before this was 50 years ago, in 1971, with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson, both GOATs in their own right. Your boy was born 91, so my best memory is back when Ray Allen and Sam Cassell was playing in the mid-90s. That also had to be my favorite Bucks jersey, you know, with the deer on it. Apparently, the Bucks mascot is a deer named Bango.
Bingo!
I said Bango. Giannis and Kareem are the only 2 players to win MVP for the regular season for the Bucks, with Giannis winning 2 and Kareem have winning 3. But both are also the only players to win NBA Finals MVP for the Bucks. So Giannis is an amazing company. And still so damn young at only the age of 26.
I'm 36! I'm 36!
No, not 36, 26, damn! But we'll get to who is 36 later. Giannis was the 15th overall pick in the 2013 NBA draft at only age 18. Damn! Ever since he was drafted, the franchise improved drastically, especially the past few years where they were the top contenders in the East. I mean, just look at this before and after glow-up picture. He actually played with one of his brothers on that same championship team. And on top of that, they have a third brother who won last year with Lakers, aka LeBron.
LeBron James.
So I don't know, this may be the first NBA brother trio to win NBA championships.
Big baller at your service.
Now the Phoenix Suns, located in Arizona. See, I know where that is.
Bruh.
They unfortunately had never won a championship, but they're not alone. There are 11 active NBA teams that have never won a championship, which equates to about 36% of the league. The Suns made the finals twice before this year. Once in the 70s, and once again in the 90s with Sir Charles Barkley. But we all know how that turned out.
What the hell?
My best memories were back in the mid-2000s with Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, and Shawn Marion. As much as I looked up to Steve Nash, unfortunately as a kid, I couldn't help to have an ugly-ass jumper like Shawn Marion. I would say my favorite Suns jersey would have to be that jersey from the 90s with the sun streak. The mascot is a gorilla named Go, and it started way back in the day when some messenger who was dressed as a gorilla delivered some telegram, but then did random dances for the fans who loved it, so it stuck. Only Charles Barkley and Steve Nash won regular season MVP awards with the Suns. Fast forward 10 years later from the Steve Nash era, and we have a new trio.
One-on-one, I'm undefeated, never lost.
Sorry, I'm a fan of the Ball brothers, so hopefully one day. You never know. But now we have future superstar Devin Booker, hopeful young center DeAndre Ayton, and last but not least, some people would call the point god, Chris Paul, aka CP3. This was the first time in 10 years that the Suns even made the playoffs. Now these two teams actually have some common history together, kind of like twin siblings. Both the Suns and the Bucks were the only new teams to join the NBA back in 1968. But believe it or not, a coin flip changed everything. First year, the Suns placed last, which led to a coin flip for the #1 overall pick in the upcoming 1969 NBA draft. And that coin flip was against the Bucks, who won the right to draft Kareem. To me, this almost feels like an old rivalry or coincidence. So here we are, all those years later, finally reunited.
Reunited and and it feels so good.
which I think is the 75th NBA Finals for 2021, and who we all thought was going to make it to the finals this year. It appears the culture for the Phoenix Suns changed once James Jones became the general manager and Monty Williams became the head coach, who was a close runner-up to winning Coach of the Year this year. These guys really created a great young culture with CP3 leading as the veteran. Chris Paul was the missing piece because he always had great leadership, and everyone else was way younger, so they respected him 100%. DeAndre Ayton was the first pick in the 2018 NBA draft, and although I didn't know much about him, he really surprised me and stepped up throughout these playoffs. The Suns' last finals appearance was 28 years ago, so they're just as hungry as the Bucks. On top of this, you have CP3, who's either always injured or in COVID protocol. Make your mind up. How about play? Let's not get sick, let's not get injured, let's just play. I have no idea how he recovered from those injuries and pursued. I mean, this was his first finals appearance in 16 years, and that's his entire career. And the guy is really 36.
36, man! I'm 36! Damn!
The Suns definitely set the tone in Game 1, with the Suns winning and CP3 being the best player. Although Giannis was injured going into Game 1 with a nasty hyperextended knee injury. The Suns also took Game 2, with Devin Booker being the best with 30-plus points. Him and CP3 have been one of the best backcourt duos we've seen in a while. Giannis did have an impressive 42 points in their loss with an outstanding 20 points in the third quarter alone. Both of these games were in Phoenix because after this, everything went downhill for the Suns. The Bucks had no choice but to make adjustments if they wanted to turn this series around and make history. The Bucks did come back and win Game 3, with role players stepping up and becoming more aggressive. Plus, Giannis having back-to-back 40-point games helps. He's not the best free throw shooter with a percentage around 70% being made, but it's so funny to see the other team fans count how many seconds it takes for him to shoot the damn ball. Either he's really catching his breath and energy, or he's just trolling the fans at this point. I respect him regardless because he never stops being aggressive and always continues to attack the basket to get to the foul line. At this point, it appears the Bucks have figured out the Suns' weakness, which was the Bucks utilizing their big men more and overall being more aggressive as a team. DeAndre Ayton got into foul trouble in Game 3, so after that, the Suns can't really match up with the two 7-foot big men on the Bucks, Giannis and Brook Lopez. Shout out to Cam Johnson on the Suns with that massive dunk in Game 3. Apparently he is super young and attending grad school while playing in the NBA Finals, if I'm not mistaken, so much respect. But Giannis, he figured out to play less like Kobe and more like Shaq. His offensive game switched up completely. Giannis is not skilled like KD or LeBron, but he's very smart with his body. He's really bringing back that bully ball where he's just a monster in the paint. It got to the point where the Suns and the league overall had to create a wall of Giannis to stop him from driving to the paint. This is similar to the Jordan rules or the Hack-a-Shaq. Teams create these strategies because it's almost impossible to stop these guys on offense. In Game 4, he had an unforgettable game-winning block on Ayton. I would say looking back on the replay that the ball was thrown a little high and Ayton didn't have a good grab on the ball, but regardless, I have no idea how Giannis turned around in time to get that block. Overall, I would say Chris Middleton was the player of the game with a high of 40 points. I feel like these superstars are dropping 40 points left and right out of nowhere like it's nothing nowadays. So now the series is tied 2-2 going into Game 5, and the Suns really need to get it together at this point. Devin Booker even said every game is like a Game 7, but basketball is a team sport and it's more than just one person. CP3 had way too many turnovers the past 3 games with a total of 15. He's supposed to be the floor general but hasn't been since Game 1. His points per game have been on a decline, so I don't know, maybe the injuries are finally catching up to him. He just looks worn down. The pressure is definitely on CP3. Even Kendrick Perkins said
CP3 needs CPR.
Well, unfortunately, Game 5 is also a bust for the Suns, because now Drew Holiday came out of nowhere and carried the Bucks to victory from being down 16 points. And even Devin Booker had another 40-point game. It's just crazy because Giannis didn't even play in a single game a week prior to Game 1. So you can imagine if my man was healthy going into the finals, will the Suns even win a game? I don't know. So now to talk about the final nail in the coffin, Game 6. This may have been one of the best individual performances we've ever seen because Giannis went off and scored a 50-piece to tie the knot. Giannis went full Jadakiss and said,
Y'all scared, I could tell that I'ma get bucks like Milwaukee, cause like Sam, I could sell.
he's the 7th player in history to score 50 points in a finals game. He embraced the moment and had one of the greatest closeouts in history. There's also nothing like winning a championship in your home arena with 65,000 fans outside going off. This was CP3's last chance most likely to be a starting player on a team to win a championship. You could probably get a chip being a supportive player, coming off the bench, but I don't know at this point, man. Him really contributing like majority of the minutes, I don't know how it's going to turn out. I personally think it was an accomplishment in itself for CP3 to make it to the finals and compete. This was a contribution to his legacy when you look back on it. But when you look back on this series, the Bucks players just got better and more confident over time. Plus, we haven't seen a player like Giannis in a while. The Bucks were bigger, stronger, more athletic, deeper bench, and just more experienced in the playoffs. Their star players also came through in clutch moments, whereas the Suns fell short. CP3 really needed to have a better sense of urgency. Although CP3 is up there in age, the team overall is still very young and mature, and that's key. But in the end, this was Giannis' year to win, and it's definitely deserving. Giannis really cemented himself in the Basketball Hall of Fame after this performance. He's the first player in NBA history to have 50 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 blocks in a finals game. He didn't care about the scrutiny, and he loves the pressure. He never ran from adversity to join a super team either. He stayed loyal. Fans made fun of his free throw process, but he kept attacking. In the final game, he hit majority of his free throws and went 17 for 19 from the line, which is around 90%. You can't stop someone that has that winning Mamba mindset. This is all after re-signing with the Bucks with a Supermax contract last year in 2020, which was very suspenseful for the organization and fans because no one knew what he was going to do, if he was going to re-sign and stay, or join a super team or go to another team, because nowadays everyone joins a super team for an easy championship run. When players join these super teams, we could pretty much anticipate who's going to win the finals this year. His championship was definitely earned and a breath of fresh air. Is he or will he be the best Buck player of all time? Is he now a top 10 power forward of all time? I think so. Will he win more titles with the Bucks? Don't think so. Not if other teams and superstars are fully healthy. He would need more help and another piece in my opinion. The Bucks also have amazing individual stories. You have PJ Tucker, who's been grinding his whole career, Bobby Portis, who was on 4 teams in the last 4 years, Chris Middleton, who had a late draft pick, and Drew Holiday, who's freaking signed with the Bucks this past year alone. But the craziest fact out of all these players on both these teams is that the only player that has actual finals experience that's been here before is freaking Jay Crowder. I thought it was nice for Coach Monty Williams to congratulate the other team in their locker room. I hope he has a long career ahead of him. But I wonder how that 19-hour flight was for Devin Booker going to the Tokyo Olympics. I mean, to be on the same plane as Middleton and Drew Holiday, the 2 guys that just beat you in the NBA Finals. This series was totally unexpected and a freaking roller coaster throughout. Suns had the momentum at the beginning, but fell off. Could we see these 2 reunite again? Maybe in another 50 years. Because you already know if other teams were fully healthy, I doubt this matchup would even be a thing. The stars really did have to align for this to happen. Through and through, both teams' success is still earned and deserved. I'm happy for both. In some way, this unexpected duo still had some exciting moments. And overall, I thought this NBA Finals was a good vibe. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you want to see more, just subscribe. If you want notifications for new uploads, hit that bell icon. Also, if you could share this video with your family and friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.